What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. How are you all doing? Listen, grab your coffee. Sit back and relax. We've got a pretty epic video for you today. And a couple things I want to talk about right off the bat. First of all, coffee is really good. I need to take another drink first. And also, I understand that my transmog is really horrific right now. I'm aware of that. I don't know why, actually. The gloves should have been... I don't understand what's happening. Those are the right gloves. So, anyway, we're going for the hobo look, but now we have these gloves on. We got to change it. It's got to be changed. There we go. Okay. That's better. Thank you. Whew. Now we can start the video. Let me click off this guy. Okay. I hope you guys are doing very well. Let me talk about a couple things first of all. First of all, my apologies for the Discord notifications while doing videos. I did go into my settings and figure that out. I think at some point I had manually, like, everything gets automatically turned off because Discord understands how streaming works, unlike me. And I went in and, like, manually turned back on notifications. I think there was a point where, like, I needed to be able to know if somebody was chatting with me in Discord. I forget why I did that. Anyway, it's off now, so it doesn't matter. But that's all fixed. Thank you for suffering through that. I appreciate the pain you guys are going through there. Number two, I'm in a new guild on this guy. As you can see on the Shaman, I'm in a guild called Eclipsed. And this is sort of... I basically got in yesterday, and let me tell you the whole story. So, I've been looking for a different guild to do raiding with, of course. And I still want to do, you know, things like Mythic Plus and still love the old community of the birds. Obviously, all the people there are really fantastic. But I wanted to kind of push forward and move into some higher content, especially for you guys, so that I could provide content that way. And thankfully, in this video you're going to see, we got into the first Mythic boss of the raid. We got Mythic Vigilant Guardian. And it was an epic fight. We're going to show you that in a minute. I applied for this new guild yesterday for Eclipse. And right away, I basically got a message from Nikita, which was really awesome. She was like one of the recruitment people. Just so awesome to meet her. And she's also a raider in a Mythic Plus. She's great at the game as well. So I ended up getting recruited yesterday afternoon. And I get recruited. I'm talking to some of the new people. It's a really awesome environment. And then we're basically talking about... They're like, listen, you know, you applied for enhanced, but can you flex to healing? And I'm like, yeah, I can totally flex to healing. I actually love to heal. And then they were like, okay, that's great. You're going to be healing tonight on Mythic Vigilant Guardian. And I was like, come again? I'm going to be what now? Like, you're going to be healing tonight on Mythic Vigilant Guardian. I haven't healed in a raid since, you know, BFA. And, like, the muscle memory's there. I totally get it. But there's, like, new builds in this expansion, right? Like, everything's, like, new and different. And anyway... It's not like I had no idea what I was doing, but it's just that I hadn't practiced it in this expansion, certainly not in a Mythic environment, which just means, like, you need some of the reps. You need the muscle memory. And so I was like, oh my god, okay, that's great. I'm so happy. I need to leave this call right now and start go farming Cosmic Flux, because I didn't have a 291 Legendary. I didn't have Primal Title Core. So, like, I only had, like, 1,400 Flux, and you need 2,000 to make a 291. So I was, like, frantically running around Zereth Mortis, like, getting world quests done and getting these extra quests done and doing trying to get the weekly done. I didn't even get all the way through the weekly. I got enough Flux to get it done, but that was pretty hilarious. I had this just, like, frantic farming of Cosmic Flux. Then later in the night, I get into the raid, and you're going to see it in the video, and I can't keep my damn mouth shut because that's just who I am. I just like to talk and to communicate and to know what's going on. And so, like, it's my first day in this new raid, first day with all these people into a Mythic boss, and I can't keep my damn mouth shut. I just keep trying to, like, call out healing cooldowns. When should we move stuff over here? But, I mean, they were really receptive to it, and I feel like I wasn't really talking out of turn. Like, I feel like it kind of needed to be done. So man, it was just, like, so much fun to be back into this environment. I can't tell you guys how good it feels to be back into, like, this level of play, just personally for me, to be pushing, like, really difficult encounters and to be running up against problems that are just, like, wiping the raid. And you're like, okay, how do we fix this? We got to fix this before we can move forward. That feels so good to be a part of that kind of content. So I was part of, helping solve problems that came up, and I just organizing some cooldowns. You're gonna see some of the healing cooldowns, and it's my favorite way to play the game. It's my favorite way to play the game. So that being said, the new guild that I'm with here, they're also just like completely fantastic people. I had a really long chat with the GM last night, and I don't know, man. It's just like I think I got really lucky or something, because this group of people seems pretty incredible, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun pushing through the Mythic rating in Sepulchre, the first ones, before we even get to the next season, which means there's gonna be lots more content coming down the line there. But that's it. Let me go really quickly over the build that I ran for you guys who are curious about healing. In fact, I wasn't Kyrian. I was Venthyr. So first of all, we ran Primal Teleport, which is pretty standard. I'm almost a little sad that I ran the most standard legendary you could possibly run, but it's fine. And then we ran Venthyr on top of that. So we got the Elemental Conduit here, which adds 5 Riptides on allies. Now, if you don't understand the interaction between these two, this says every 4 Riptide casts gives you an additional Riptide. And then this says it gives you 5 Riptides as soon as you cast it. So this Elemental Conduit will automatically give you an additional Riptide because of Primal Teleport. And on top of that, if you've already started stacking Primal Teleport manually with regular Riptides, by the time you cast Chain Harvest, you might actually get 2 additional Riptides out of this, right? Because it's like, if you've cast 2 Riptides, so you're 2 out of 4 on Primal Teleport, and then you press Elemental Conduit, you'll get an additional 5. Sorry, if you're 3 out of 4 on Primal Teleport, you've cast 3 Riptides manually, then you cast Chain Harvest, it'll add 5 more. That's 8 in total, right? I can't do math. That's 8 in total, which is this times 2, so you're going to get 2 additional Riptides. The point is, these synergize together, which is very, very cool, and it means you're getting a whole bunch of additional Riptides out. On top of that, I ran Torrent, so all those Riptides, when they hit somebody, their upfront healing was increased by 20%, which is really, really cool. So we ran Torrent, Echo, Spirit Wolf, Earthen Wall Totem, Windrush, Cloudburst, and I did run High Tide. Most people are running Wellspring. I really like High Tide because of the 4-set bonus. So if you don't know about the bonuses, it says that your critical healing increases the critical strike chance of your next chain heal, stacking up to 50 times. Then your chain heal crits reduce the cooldown of some totems by 2 seconds. And then when you drop Healing Stream Totem or Cloudburst, Healing Tide, Mana Tide, Spirit Link, they all will send out a chain heal. Okay? Now, this automatic chain heal that's generated by these totems can consume a High Tide buff. Right? So, like, you cast a bunch of spells, and you get a High Tide buff rolling. Oh, no. Come on. You gotta spend 20,000 mana. We're getting there. There we go. We got our High Tide buff, and then we drop our Cloudburst Totem, and it consumed one of the High Tides right there. And then if we drop our Spirit Link Totem, it'll consume the second High Tide. Watch this. Boom. It consumes the second High Tide, because it sends out an automatic chain heal, right? So some really cool synergy there. It's very passive, and basically, like, whenever you're dropping a Cloudburst Totem, you want to be doing a lot of healing anyway. It's really changed the way that we play a little bit with our totems. Like, I don't just drop Cloudburst Totem passively anymore and then wait for it to stack up all of its healing. I drop Cloudburst Totem when we need a lot of healing, because it's going to send out an automatic chain heal. That chain heal could be buffed by High Tide, which is insane. So that's step number 1. Then the Cloudburst Totem also consumes all the healing that's been going on, and then I can pop it again in this really dangerous moment when we might need it. So very, very cool synergy between the tier set bonus and stuff like High Tide. And of course, I ran Torrent, I ran Venthyr. I'm running Kyrian right now. I might try Kyrian actually in some of the fights coming up, but that's the build that I ran. I ran the Chain Harvest conduit, of course, and then I ran the conduit that makes when the Swelling Tides one. When you press, let me just look at them right here. I don't know why I'm not looking at them. Swirling Currents we ran, and we ran Embrace of the Earth, I think, and then plus the Chain Harvest conduit. Okay, so that's the stuff we ran, but these are the talents that we ran, and look at our numbers. we're going to look overall. We did 14.3k healing overall, which wasn't too bad. It's mostly going to be Riptide. There's that chain heal. I did manually cast chain heal a few times, but most of these were like automatic chain heals that came from me pressing, dropping a Cloudburst, dropping Healing Tide Totem, dropping a Mana Tide Totem. It also sends out a chain heal. So that's our breakdown right there. And we also did 2.0. We did 2k DPS. So very happy with that. I love being able to do extra damage as a healer. I think it's really important to the group. So that's our breakdown overall. Let's jump into the video. Let me just look at the video and show you guys this epic fight because there's some really cool moments. I'm also going to just walk through the fight like step by step. Let me move my notes. I'm going to walk through the fight kind of step by step because it's important, I think, for you guys to know how to do Mythic Vigilant Guardian. It's a very, very different fight than on Heroic and on normal. Like, it's completely different. So let's walk through it step by step. So here's the fight. You're going to start on one side. It's the same setup, except there's one thing that's dramatically different at the beginning, and you'll notice that the boss starts rolling out. He's already rolled out. So you have to do this entire fight with the boss rolled out at the same time. There's no phase 1, phase 2. Phase 1 and phase 2 are happening at the exact same time now.
The hunter just gets whacked.
which is pretty crazy.
Like, motherfucker wasn't even in range of me. Hit him with my melee.
So I'm just doing damage at the beginning, and then I'm holding my Chain Harvest for right now. I Chain Harvest right now because the big guy's coming, and the ads are out. Nobody's taking any damage yet. I'm about to take some damage because I'm an idiot. So there, I do Chain Harvest. It gets a bunch of Riptides out, which is awesome. You can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 Riptides out already. Like, the Chain Harvest Riptide combination is just so cool. It just really helps you to... Then we had a strategy here where we had to pop these bombs. So that's a new mechanic. When he does these laser beams, these bombs form. That doesn't happen in normal and heroic. So when you pop these bombs, they put a stacking debuff on the raid. See, everybody has a 4 next to their raid panel. You don't really want to stack up to 4 because that's a lot of ticking damage. But in the very beginning of the fight, there's nothing else going on. So I pop Healing Tide Totem, and I do a lot of cooldowns, and we just mitigate all the damage. Now, later in the fight, you only want to pop these things 2 at a time. We start doing that right now. I get hit by a thing again. It's so bad. Honestly, I get hit by so many things, and I need to be better at that. This big X is this little star, 1, 2, 3, I guess it's like a hexagon thing. Very dangerous. This will almost kill you. You have to step out of it.
Popped 1. Don't pop anymore.
So I popped 2 of the bombs. I'm trying to call the bombs along with another healer. I'm just trying to make sure that we do it right because people were randomly stepping on them and calling, and like we were getting stacks of 4. So I was just helping to make the call. I didn't want to be pushy, but I just felt like somebody needed to make like a definitive call, or else we were going to be continuously tripping on these bombs, and it was going to be a nightmare. So you can see we popped 2 of them, and then we popped 2 more of them. So now it's a very minor dot that we've got on us. There's 1 more bomb here that I'm going to pop. We have 4 right now, so I don't want to touch it. Sorry for that, guys. That just happened. There's an X again. I get hit by this one this time. So bad. I'm trying to focus really hard on healing. I haven't healed in, like, years, honestly. Not in the Mythic setting. And I just, like, I'm getting used to it again, so... We have to get ready to get into the circle. On Mythic, you have to kill this prefabricated sentry, or you can't even spawn the circle, the protective circle. That's another change. You have to kill this sentry first. That's why the tanks, Thor and them, are calling out sentry. So we get it. Then the tanks have to try to tank the ads outside of the circle. Once again, we're popping more of the bombs over here. I don't have any cooldowns for this because we're going to rely on the druids and the monk here. They're going to cover this. Watch the revival come in here. We all stay taking a bunch of damage. Watch. Here comes revival. Boom. Right there. Did you see that? It looks so good, man. So, all the other healers. And then we have to move because there's other mechanics happening.
Pop the last one, I guess.
I'm going to pop that last bomb. Here comes some more bombs. We have to continuously pop these for the entire fight. Here comes a big X.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
We have 5.
We have 5. Don't pop anymore.
Yeah, we got to be really careful here.
Okay.
Then we can pop the last one.
Level out before we pop it. Alright. Focus sentry, focus sentry.
Then there's more bombs coming down. The tanks just get trucked in this fight. Because they're dealing with the ads and the boss. The boss is just clapping them the whole time. I get Chain Harvest back. We get more Riptides out. I barely stepped out of that one. Cairo dies. And Jay died. Did you hear him sigh in the background there? It's so funny. Oh, in my head, I was just laughing. Then there's a bomb. Jay says there's a bomb back here. I got to run back and get this bomb. So on this next platform, these are going to be all my cooldowns. But for now, we're just kind of triaging, keeping everybody alive. There's a lot of bursts in this fight. There's still, see, Matter Dissolution. All the mechanics from Phase 2 that we used. Remember, like, you have to walk out of the group and it detonates all those stars around you. Those mechanics are all happening right now. So
90. Hard focus. Hard focus.
So we're at 90. We need to kill the sentry. That's what Jay's talking about. There's a bomb right there. I go step on it. We only have 2, so we're good. Now we have to get in and we have to get ready for my cooldowns. I'm going to hold Spirit Link as long as I possibly can. I try to hold Spirit Link here because, like, the damage doesn't come out yet. It's like you got to wait for it. The damage isn't out yet. Now we're starting to take damage. Now we're taking it. See how long that took? I think sometimes people blow their cooldowns early, but we do Link. I do Healing Tide Totem. My healing just goes crazy here, which is really good. I'm doing damage as much as I can, popping extra bombs.
Throw this bomb, he'll be under 40. So kill the Matrix as soon as possible. Matrix.
Oh, I get hit again. I get hit so many times by that mechanic. There's no indication that like hexagon thing is coming out, which is kind of annoying.
We need a killer cooldown and pop it salve.
Okay.
It's the only one that's up.
Oh my god. No. Oh, God.
So Glory hit salve there, which
He's under 40, so
absolutely
kill
kept
that,
us alive.
and we're good.
Ionic goes down, unfortunately. A couple people are dead.
Probably want to res.
We are going to need DPS. So then I get this thing. I have to run this out. This is the mechanic that usually happens in P2, but it happens all the time now.
Res Garlic Chief right now.
Wait to take that. Okay, no.
The damage is just crazy. These transition periods, the damage is just crazy. So the ads are dead now, which means
So now it's
we're not going to get any more ads because he's below 40% health or something. I forget what Jay was saying there, but I greeted for a cast there. Really, really bad. So there's
They don't
bombs
hit
still
anymore.
going off. We're just doing 2 bombs at a time now, though. We don't ever want to do 4. So we're popping 2 bombs at a time for the healers. It's just like light ticking damage.
Sokka or myself. Preferably Sokka.
So then they get a DPS up here.
Move the boss.
Grab 2 bombs there.
Glory and I are trying to just work on the bombs.
Another one before anybody dies.
I pop one there.
We'll finish out.
He's crushing the tanks again. We do get some damage up.
now.
Boss, move boss.
I have to run this Matter Dissolution out. I'm going to get it way out of here. Watch this. I think I Venthyr Teleport back in. This looks really dicey, but look at how close they get. Boop. That's where Venthyr Teleport's actually really huge there. Just gets you right back into the fight.
So that changes things. If we get another B-res, get his links up.
I'm popping 2 of these bombs. I got hit again. Man, it's just like the worst, honestly. I don't know how I didn't die. Matter Dissolution again.
Are we good to clear?
This gets even closer. I have to Venthyr Teleport out. There we go. We're back out again.
Wait.
Move boss.
So we're getting him to the 15% mark. Once we get to 15%, it's the burn phase, and we lost, right? My camera's like just in the way. He's at 20%, so we're not quite there.
Oh, that's about to be bad.
Oh my god.
So
I got-
when we move,
Move boss.
There's so much damage in this fight, actually. Honestly, a lot of the damage in this fight's avoidable, but, you know, this is like our 8th time pulling it or something. Literally, we only pulled it 7 or 8 times, I think, in the night. So
18%, and then these
I'm just like, I keep getting hit by bombs, driving me crazy. But again, it's like I'm focused so hard on my healing. I just haven't done it.
We
It's
just
not
leave the bomb.
It's not like second nature to me, right?
Yeah. He's got 1%. He's got 1%.
Okay, so here we go. We're in the burn phase.
Everybody stack up in a circle here.
I'm asking people for healing to stack up. So then Jay needs to call the healing cooldowns here, and he will in a second.
Alright, cool. So we have Trink, we got him, we got Double Totem,
We need to space
we
these
got-
out. So,
and we got Garlic Keys Revival.
do you want to call the healing cooldowns, Jay? Do you want to just call them out?
Yeah, I got you. I'm just telling you what we got.
Yeah.
Second pots, are they back up?
So watch this. This gets really intense. The ticking damage gets harder and harder, right? The longer this phase goes on. We're already taking like 20% of our HP. We need cooldowns like right now.
Healing Tide.
So here comes Healing Tide and Trank.
Frankie.
So everybody's getting back to full.
Go ahead and revival and Spirit Link too.
Revival's there. I have Chain Harvest.
If you got health
And then I Spirit Link as late as I can. We have no more cooldowns. There's no more healing cooldowns.
on the next go.
I just start chain healing people here.
Glory, go ahead and him now.
Him's the last one. Sorry. I'm just chain healing. I'm like, this is it. We're dead.
Alright, everybody else defensives, and if you got convokes, you need to get them out. This is it. We're done. Kill it.
It's
Kill it,
just
kill it,
like,
kill it.
look at everybody dying.
Kill it.
Everybody dies here. I think, look how many people are left. 2 healers and like 3-4 DPS. It's just crazy. It's so close. One more tick and everybody was dead. One more tick and it was over.
What the fuck is this shit?
So that was wild. Like that was really wild. But you can see the fight is pretty hectic, honestly. There's a lot going on in this fight. You need to organize who's getting rid of the bombs. You have to be really careful about how often you're like triggering those bombs, because you can do them way too often and it will end up like bricking your whole team because the dot gets too high. Mostly you have to just dodge, like personal play on dodging stuff, and I was so bad at that. I mean, like my damage taken was probably like through the roof here. Yeah, look at this. Look how much damage I freaking took. It's really bad. So this is something that you can clean up, and we will clean up as we continue to do this fight. But the healing was good. Riptide was crazy. Chain heal at the end there. You can see like it gets pretty epic at the very end there when everybody's dying and you have no cooldowns left. You just used everything you can possibly use. It was really, really cool to experience that fight. So that was my first mythic boss of this expansion, I think. Oh, no, we did do some in Castle Nathri. I did Shriekwing, I think. But certainly of this tier, this is the first mythic boss that I've gotten into, and it was so much fun. Now, moving forward, I talked with a bunch of the people there, and Jay was talking about I'm going to be doing potentially some healing, but they do want me on DPS as well. And they've got other healers who were just kind of out for this week. So we're going to have to see how it all kind of lines up, how it all shakes out. But I think I will be bringing Enhancement Shaman into the raid for the most part, and we will be pushing into Mythic next week. We're going to be doing at least Vigilant Guardian again, and then hopefully pushing into Skolex and some other bosses. And I'll give you guys videos on that as well. But I just wanted to start off with a banger with this one, and to tell you guys that, of course, things have kind of changed for me in the last couple weeks. And I am now with a new guild, and I'm raiding with this guild, and going to be doing lots of Mythic Plus and stuff like that too. So I'm excited. It's going to be really awesome. I'm excited for all the content I'll be able to bring to you guys, and some of these epic moments like we had with this fight. Like that Vigilant Guardian fight was so cool at the very end, just being like, we have absolutely no tools left. We're all going to die. You know, it's just, those are the moments that you kind of live for. You're like, okay, we got to get through this. And you do, and you beat the boss. It feels really good. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm just going to say once again, if you want to go to the Patreon poll, it's down below. Just let me know if you can or would be willing to donate to a Patreon. Again, I've been talking with Zoe a whole bunch about the tiers of Patreon that we want to give you guys. And there's a couple, some really exciting things that we've got in the works. So just go to that poll down below in the box there and let me know if you're willing, if you'd be willing to donate money each month. We are going to have several tiers, and I'll explain those at a later date, but I'm just trying to get a feel for how many people might want to actually donate to the channel and help me continue to do this on a more full-time basis. So thank you once again for watching. Thanks for all the support. Drop a like if you want to, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one.